Web3 is rewriting the rules. Finance, technology, freedom. So we're sitting down with some of the builders in the space to get their take on where things are heading.
Nowadays, a lot of TradFi people, they want to tap into the market.
The transactions day to day are becoming really widespread around the world.
It's really the most effective way today for people to be able to spend digital assets in the real world.
The way that we interact with crypto is changing in real time. This is the Now Effect by ChangeNOW. Feel the power of now. Hey there, I'm Ornella Hernandez, and joining me today is JT. He is a director of Partnerships and DeFi at Polygon. Thanks for joining me today.
Thanks.
So let's talk partnerships.
Sure.
If we look back 12, 18 months at Polygon, what would you say is one partnership or one DeFi integration that really has changed the way that people use the network and not just trade on it?
Yeah, I would say that the partnerships we've had with our traditional finance companies and fintech apps, for example, Visa, Mastercard, Revolut, Stripe, and so on, has really changed the way that people use the Polygon network, primarily today for payments. And that's where we want to steer the direction of the chain to be able to specifically cater to the payments use case.
Okay, so let's get into that a little bit more. I think people are past the point of focusing too much on TVL or liquidity or better incentives. So what are you guys looking at specifically when it comes to payments and these integrations with fintech companies?
Yeah, so it's really making sure that we are serving the rails behind it. It's past the whole narrative of TPS and block time and so on. I think every blockchain today and in the future will be able to handle the volume of payments in the future. We see the traditional finance industry and the crypto industry converging, and we want to be a part of that story. And in fact, that's what we're building, and that's why we're building the open money stack at Polygon.
So when it comes to evaluating new partners to work with, what's one question that will determine whether it's going to be a short-term or a long-term partnership?
I would say that the main criteria we look at is whether or not they're building something meaningful for the future of the industry. And if, for example, we take a new copy-paste app for prediction markets, for example, that's probably something we're not necessarily interested in.
Yeah.
We'd be more interested in someone who's building, let's say, an FX venue, for example, with stablecoins or something to do with payments that would be using the open money stack at the back. And that's where we see the longer term sustainable partnership come in, because we see that product market fit coming in, especially this year, next year, and in the future, where a lot of the users would essentially be onboarding and maybe not necessarily know that they're using blockchain or stablecoins.
Right.
And that entire experience is all abstracted. But at the back, the Polygon Open Money Stack is powering the entire rails.
Okay, so Polygon Open Money Stack, OMS.
Yeah.
Let's get into that a little bit more. Maybe you can tell me how it differentiates from what's already out there.
Yeah, so take for example, if you're a neobank or a fintech today, and you want to integrate blockchain and stablecoin payments, you typically have to work with different vendors. You have to work with a wallet, you have to work with a different compliance application, you have to work with a liquidity provider, for example, maybe on-off ramps separately too. And you could see maybe 8 vendors, 10 vendors separately that you have to work with. And with the Open Money Stack, you just work with the Polygon team, and we've got all these layers already enabled at the back. And it's all going to be packaged in a single API where you can just approach us and work with a single vendor. Where our open money stack is multi-chain, and it's not a vendor lock-in kind of model that we're looking at. So you can use one part of it, or you can use multiple or the entire stack itself. And it's really up to you how you want to use the money stack, but we've built that already there, and you can start integrating on and off ramps, wallets, cross-chain interoperability, everything else today.
Okay, gotcha. And you mentioned before that the narrative of TPS, so transactions per second, is over with and done, right? So it's not necessarily a speed thing anymore when it comes to L2s and new chains. So what is it that maybe the OMS platform or just in general Polygon is focusing on more this year?
Yeah, I would say it's really the use case of enabling payments with stablecoins. And some people might think, oh, what's really the difference between stablecoin and normal fiat? Besides the fact that you're able to move money in a matter of minutes or seconds rather than days, it's also the programmability of the money, where you can use that within DeFi. You can use that within like payment agents, for example. And that opens up a lot of use cases, which is the exciting part about bringing and moving all money on chain.
Okay, so given all that, if we fast forward the next 2 years, what would you like Polygon to be known for? If we could call it like a Polygon effect, what would that be?
Yeah, I think that it would be great for us to be known as, like a primary player within the space to have brought the adoption of stablecoins to traditional finance, or being part of that merge between TradFi and I guess in this case, DeFi or stablecoin payments, or crypto for that matter. And that would be a win for us, because that's really what we're pushing for today, to enable anyone to move money on chain and to move all money on chain for that matter.
Okay, now I want to get your take on the fact that Polygon is using all these fintech integrations, and I think the crypto industry in general is really moving towards working with all these institutional players and TradFi players, right?
Yeah.
Even though in the beginning it started out as a counter movement, right, against TradFi, and it's like, no, we're anarchists and we're going to do our own thing, and now we realize that, like, actually, wait, we have to work together.
Yeah.
So what do you personally think about this? Do you think that's a good thing? Is this the right direction? Is it just a necessary evil that we have to get through?
No, I think it's really good, because it shows that there's product market fit with actual blockchain and stablecoins that we created ourselves in this industry. And I think also it's great for TradFi, because it brings more of that financial innovation that maybe is the missing piece today in today's TradFi. So, for example, enabling anyone to have like a US account balance in emerging countries, for example, would not be easily possible before crypto came about. But today you could have your USDC or USDT in your wallet, which essentially acts as a US account for yourself. Yeah.
I do that, so I love that.
Likewise, me too.
All right, last question.
Yeah.
I have a pitch idea for you for a dApp that I want to see if maybe Polygon could build it.
Sure.
Right? So let me know what you think. So I'm thinking like a universal checkings account, but for stable coins, okay? So if I'm at any merchant, any coffee shop, any restaurant, whatever, and I want to pay using any non-USD stablecoin, could Polygon be the on-chain liquidity provider for that?
Yes, definitely.
Yeah, if it's like AD or Euro or any non-USD stablecoin, could that happen?
Yeah, of course. So we've got the open money stack, of course, and we've also got our on-chain liquidity venues that you could use of today.
And if anyone else has any ideas for dApps that could be built on Polygon, let us know in the comments below. Thank you for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe. See you later.